Hello everyone, today we have a second class on our fifth chapter, that is Introduction to Euclid's Geometry. In this proper second class, we are going to study about the Euclid's definition, axiom and the postulates. So let's get started. First of all, what is Euclid's definition? So first we have to going to write, then I will tell you the proper means, what it does means. So the definition of Euclid's definition means what does it defines? A solid has shape, size, position, and can be moved from one place to another. What we have understand? We have understand a solid has shape, size, position and can be moved from one place to another. Next, its boundaries are called surfaces. What? Its boundaries are called surfaces. The boundaries of the surfaces are curves or straight line or straight lines. These lines and in points. What we have understand? We have understand a solid has, like I have this solid, it has something shape that is in a cylindrical, it has some size, it has some position as well as the boundaries of it called surfaces. This is the front surface, this is the back surface, this is the lower surface, this is the upper surface. Understand? After that it is then the boundaries of a surfaces are curves or a straight line. These pen has a curved surfaces while some have a pointed surfaces. In the same way, these lines ends in point, means if there is a straight line something like this, like we have this shape, so these are points, these are surface. Understand? And it is a solid. After that we have learned that consider the three steps. What? Consider the three steps from solid to point, that is solid, surface, lines and points. Means this is solid, this is surface, this is line and this is point. I hope you have understand what I am going to tell you. Okay, now a solid has 3 dimensions. A solid has how many dimensions? It has 3 dimensions. after that a surface has two dimension. It is mainly a 3D or 2D. In a short form we are saying 3D surface or a 2D surface. That is, a solid has 3 dimension, a surface has 2 dimension, a line has, what is? A line has how many dimension? It has only 1 dimension. And a point has no dimension. पॉइंट का कोई डायमेंशन हो ही नहीं सकता, वो तो सिर्फ एक पॉइंट है जिसका ना आगे पता, दिस वन इज अ पॉइंट. ये अगर एक पॉइंट है, इसको मान लो एक पॉइंट कह दिया, तो कितने डायमेंशन है? कोई भी डायमेंशन नहीं है. तो वी हैव अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट सॉलिड हैव 3 डायमेंशन, surface has 2 dimension, line has 1 dimension and the point has no dimension. I hope you have understand easily what I am want to say to you. Okay. Now from our Euclid definitions we are arising or we are coming out a few points that are very useful in this chapter, that are, first point is, a point is that which has no part. First, what is? A point is that a point is that which has no part. Second one, a line is breadthless length. What? A line has no breadth, that's why it has only one dimension, that is only length. If it has breadth, then it has a two-dimensional form. After that, the ends of a line are what it's called? It's called point. The ends of the line is called points. These points are find out from the definitions of the Euclid definition. I hope you are understanding what I am going to tell. I am telling you that these small points are just arising from the definition only. If you have understand the definition, then you are able to understand these points. What points? A point is that which has no part, a line is breadthless length, ends of the line is points. After that, a straight line is a line. A straight line is a line which lies eventually with the points on itself. Means a line is made itself by so many points. When so many points join together, they form a straight line. After that, a surface is that which has length and breadth only. Means a surface has only length and breadth, it doesn't have a height, that's why it is only a two-dimensional. Having only two-dimensional, that are length and breadth. After that, the edges of the surface are, the edges means kinare, edges means kinare. The edges of a surface are lines. Means if there is diagram, these edges are lines. After that, a plane surface A plane surface is a surface which lies eventually on the straight with the straight lines on itself. Means a plane surface is a surface which lies eventually with the straight line. It's only wants to tell you if some straight lines are join each other in a very small distance between them, then they form what they have formed. They are forming a plane. I hope you are understanding what I am drawing here. What it is made? It makes a plane. So here definition is that a plane is made when the eventually straight lines are draw on that while joining itself, having a very less distance between them. These all together makes a plane surface. Now, undefined terms of geometry means now we are going to read about the terms that are very less defined in geometry, but very well you have to, very important to know about them. These are undefined terms of geometry. That are, first point. What is a point? It has neither length, ना तो उसकी लेंथ है, nor breadth और nor thickness. It is represented by a fine dot. Means here we have read about the definition of point, which shows us that the point has no length, no breadth, no height, no thickness. It is only a fine dot, that is this one. You are able to see what I am making, this dot. Okay. Now, second point, that is, what is a line? If we fold a piece of paper, the crease means corner of paper, the crease of paper represents a line. A line cannot be drawn fully on the paper because it extends. Means a line is drawn, we are not able to draw line on the paper because it has no end points. Means it's a increasing way, it's not going to end, वो बढ़ती ही जा रही है, उसका कोई एंड पॉइंट नहीं है, इसलिए हम कभी एक लाइन को पेपर पर नहीं बना सकते. इसके आगे छोटी सी डेफिनेशन और है, एक्सटेंड्स इनडेफिनिटली. means having not defined how much it going to increase in both direction. In both direction means here it is showing that this is a line, it has no end point here or end point here, it is only increasing from the both sides. That's why we are not able to draw a line on a plain paper. Have you understand? After that, our next definition is third, that is plane. What is plane? A flat surface which extends indefinitely means पता ही नहीं है, कोई डिफाइन नहीं है, in all direction means a flat surface which extends means इसका भी कोई एंडिंग पॉइंट नहीं होता है, तो इसको क्या बोलते हैं? हम प्लेन बोलते हैं. आफ्टर दैट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट डेफिनेशन, दैट इज व्हाट इज अ लाइन सेगमेंट. जैसे कि लाइन का कोई एंड नहीं होता, पर उसी एंड को जब हम फाइंड कर लेते हैं तो उसको बोलते हैं क्या? लाइन सेगमेंट. तो व्हाट पोर्शन ऑफ अ लाइन, is called segment of the line or line segment. It is written means it has some special type to write a line segment, that is AB or BA. Means there is a line which is increasing on the both side, and if we have defined it by some point, that is A and B, then this part between these points is known as line segment, as AB or DA. We can read it from both the sides. After that, a line, what we are going to find? We are find that the line segment has two end points. What? Those points are A and B. ठीक. Last one. What is a ray? What is a ray? A line segment which can be extended in one direction only is called ray. मीन्स उसको रे बोलते हैं जिसमें सिर्फ एक डायरेक्शन में ही आप बढ़ा सकते हैं. जैसे एक लाइन है, जैसे लाइन दोनों तरफ बढ़ती है पर रे सिर्फ एक तरफ बढ़ती है, और एक होता है उसका एंडिंग पॉइंट ए, या कोई भी आप नेम दे सकते हैं इसको, पर ध्यान रखिएगा सिर्फ वो एक्सटेंड कर सकती है कहाँ? सिर्फ एक साइड से, इसलिए उसको क्या बोलते हैं? रे. आफ्टर दैट 6th definition, that is opposite ray. What is an opposite ray? Two rays AB, this is a symbol that shows it is an ray, and AC are said to be opposite rays if A, B and C are collinear and A is the only common point of the rays. Example, like this is a what? This is a line it is increasing on the both side. There is a some point common in it, that is A, and here it is B ray and there it is C ray, and they are increasing on the opposite side or going towards the opposite side. That's why they are known as opposite ray. Now we are going, this what we have learned? We have learned the Euclid's definition here only. What we have learned? The ray, line, point, plane, line segment, opposite ray. What we have learned? We have learned mainly the definition, ki what is ray, what is line segment. Now we are going to start our Euclid's postulates and the axioms. Now, its postulates and the axioms are postulates and axioms. First, he used the term postulates for the assumptions that were specific to geometry. On the other hand, axioms are assumptions which are used throughout mathematics and not likely linked to geometry. What I am going to tell? I am telling the postulates are mainly assumptions that are specific to geometry only, but the axioms are those which are not likely to link with the geometry. Now, what are Euclid's axioms? Euclid's axioms are: first, things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. What? Things which are equal to the same thing, are equal to one another. Means if we are going to written, it is A equal to B, comma B equal to C is equals to A equal to C. This is a first axiom. Second one, if equals are added to equals, if equals are added to equals, then the whole are wholes are equal. Have you understand? No? Then this it is written that if A equal to B, then A plus C equal to B plus C. Means if equal things are added to equals, matlab these are already equal, but if we are adding something to these equals, then they both are also equal. Have you understand? Now, third one, if equals are subtracted if equals are subtracted from the equals, then wholes are equal. Same exam but in opposite way. Like if A equal to B, then A minus C equal to B minus C, means A and B are already equal, but if we are subtracting something from both the things, then they are also in the same manner equal. Things, after that fourth point is things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Equal to 1 means if things are coincide, then they are equal to 1. After that, fifth one, the whole is greater than the part. The whole is greater than the part. What is written here? It is written, this is whole circle and a part is taken from it, like this one, a quadrant. So it is a very well known knowledge that the part is always less than the whole. This is a whole circle and this is only a part, so it is very usual knowledge that the part is only coming out from the whole. So it is very well known that the whole part is always greater than the part of it. Next one, sixth one, things which are double of the same thing, double of the same things are equal to one another. What is that? Is if A equal to B, then 2A is also equal to 2B. You have to only read here. When I am going to practice some questions, then you are easily understand what these exam means actually. These are only written that the double of the something, if both are equal, so then we are doubling both the things. So what is the difference? They are also equal. Now seventh one, things which are half of the same thing are equal to one another. This is also same कि if A equal to B, then A by 2 equal to B by 2, both are going to half, then they both are also equal. After that, eighth one, if the first thing is greater, then the second is greater than the third, then first is greater than third. So what is written? It is written that if A is greater than B, B is greater than C, so then A is actually a greater than C also. Have you understand what I am going to tell? These are the Euclid's exams that are actually used in the questions. Now our there's our last topic, that is Euclid's 5 postulates. What? Euclid's 5 postulates. What are those? These are, first one, Euclid's postulates. Before we are reading about the Euclid's axiom, now we are reading about the Euclid's postulates. So first one is a straight line. A straight line can be drawn from any point from one point to other point. What is written? It is written a straight line can be drawn from any one point to the other point. Means if there is any point, so indefinitely how many lines is this one point? Undefined lines are going to cross this point. Second one, a terminated line can be introduced produced indefinitely Euclid's called segment as the terminated line. It means it is saying that the Euclid's called the line segment as another name as terminated line. After that, third one, that is a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. कि एक सर्किल किसी भी एक पॉइंट से ड्रॉ हो सकता है और किसी भी रेडियस का ड्रॉ हो सकता है. फोर्थ वन, all right angles are equal to one another because all are of 90 degree only. Means all right angles are equal because all are angle of 90 degree only. After that, there are fifth postulates that is very important to know. If a straight line falling on two straight lines, then there are some angles are formed. What these are angles? These angles are, first one, like there are two lines, first one straight, second one is straight, and the line is this one straight line. Then how many angles are there? This one, this one, this, and this. It is A, B, C and D, E, F, G and H. Here E and B, B comma E comma H comma A are known as interior angles. What these angles? These are interior angles where B plus E is equals to 180 degree. In the same manner, A plus H is also a 180 degree angle. After that, angle A equal to C, B equal to D, H equal to F and G equal to E. These all angles are equal to each other, that are vertically opposite angle. Next one is C equal to E, D equal to H, A equal to G and B equal to F. These all angles are equal to each other by the theory of corresponding angle. This is the most important postulates of Euclid's. Now, what we have understand? We have understand here the complete chapter of Euclid's geometry, in which we have learned about its postulates, its axiom, its definition, as well as the some basic terms that are very useful in geometry. So here is our second class, which is fully completed by the whole chapter. Now we have a third class that only includes the revision part of a summary of this chapter, that is Introduction to Euclid's Geometry. So thank you so much for this class. Meet you soon in our third class, that is a summary. Thank you.